So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the science and the background behind the Harmonyum Healing System and where it was first developed, how it came about, and just a little bit more understanding about what makes it so incredibly powerful. So Dr. Joseph Michael Levry is the founder and the creator, the brains behind the Harmonium Healing System. Dr. Levry is my spiritual teacher. He actually is a spiritual master from a very long lineage, and he also has a PhD in engineering. So what's so beautiful about the Harmonium Healing System is that it really is a combination of science and spirituality. And quite honestly, when we are able to blend both of those pieces together, it gives us the most incredible capacity to work on activating the self-healing within the body. So the aim for Dr. Levry when he first developed the system was to create a system which allowed the body to heal itself at root level, because by doing that, we are able to facilitate permanent change within the body. So that was the idea behind it. The fact that everything is mathematical within the universe. So we know that energy is everything. We know that vibration and sound and energy are really part of everything within the universe that makes up the universal flow. And the universe as well is just simply very mathematical. Everything is numbers based. So for example, we have 7 holes in our head. We have 7 days in the week. We have 7 planetary bodies which rule our day-to-day lives. We have 12 months in the year, we have 12 zodiac signs, 12 major arcana cards. So there's a lot of numerical pieces to the universe, and quite honestly, it's just very simple. When we're able to apply that to a healing system, it really just helps to understand why everything just works so smoothly when we're dealing with numbers, the universe, spirituality, and divine wisdom. The application of divine spiritual wisdom. So the Harmonium Healing System was first developed, it's actually 26 years ago, this year will be 26 years ago that Dr. Levry first developed the system. When he first developed the system, he taught his first class in New York City, and he had 26 students in his first class. And those 26 students, 26 years ago, were actually working on the 26 vertebrae within the spine. So we have 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, and then we have the sacral and the coccyx. Now, some people will say, well, hold on a minute, Jessica, there are actually 33 vertebrae in the spine because there's 5 sacral vertebrae and 4 coccyx. However, this is true. However, those bones are fused. So both the sacrum and the coccyx, they are fused bones, so they're not free moving vertebrae like the rest of them. So we class them as one per area. So there's 26 bones, vertebrae in the spine. So I find that fascinating. Some people are like, okay, well, 26, so, but why then, if it was 26 years ago that the system was first developed, why is it that we're just really starting to become aware of it? I'm just starting to talk about it. I first trained in skincare and bodywork over 30 years ago. And in that time, I've worked with many different modalities, from aromatherapy, reflexology, acupuncture, craniosacral, hypnotherapy, many different types of modalities, and I'd never come across Harmonium as a modality previously. So I was wondering to myself, why is it now that we're just suddenly becoming as a society aware of this system? My theory is that we just, as a culture, we just weren't ready for the level of healing that Harmonium can actually offer. So because we're working divinely and because we're working spiritually, but we're also working very mathematically, it is enabling us to heal at the core level, at the root level, but also permanently, because it's activating that self-healing mechanism. And I honestly think that we just weren't ready for that. And we've tried and tested so many other ways, which are all great and all have their purpose. But people are still searching for that next level of healing. We want to become this next level of human. We want to be able to live in a space where we are thriving and not just surviving. And so now we're ready, we're looking for a different paradigm in healing, and that is what Harmonium can offer. And that is why I believe that it now is in its 26th year, is really starting to become more aware and more available to people. So that said, the reason we're working directly on the spine is because the spine is that central life force, the universal force within our bodies. It's an extension of the brain, and it is also the route by which the entire neurological system will affect the whole of our body, the functioning and the workings of our body. So the autonomic nervous system, which is broken down into two parts, we have the sympathetic side of the nervous system and we have the parasympathetic side. And it's by balancing both of those systems that we are able to activate the self-healing capacity. So the sympathetic side of the nervous system is our fight or flight. So that is the side of our nervous system which is really giving us the adrenaline rush. It's the fight or flight, it's the go, 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 it's the foot on the gas pedal. It's what we need to activate when we are in circumstances that are stressful, pushing us to our limits, when we have different stimulations going on outside of us all the time, which ultimately in today's modern world we constantly have. We have the pressures of deadlines, of schedules, of technologies constantly at the end of our fingertips, and so we're always and consistently putting pressure and stress on our nervous systems because our sympathetic side is in constant overdrive. Once we start to activate the parasympathetic side, which is our rest and digest zone, then that is when we're able to really activate the healing process within the body, because ultimately our body can only heal when we are resting. And so by activating the parasympathetic side of the nervous system, then we are taking our body into a really, really deep state of relaxation. So it's almost like we're half awake and half asleep. We're actually asleep when we're activating that side, when we're working with Harmonyum, but by taking us into that really deep space of rest and digest, we can really switch off and we can really start to activate the self-healing. Sometimes we think we're resting, we'll come home, we might sit down and watch a movie or put the TV on, we might have a glass of wine and we'll be checking our emails or checking our text messages, and we see that as resting, but actually it's not, because we're still stimulating and over-processing on that sympathetic side of the system. So when we get into that parasympathetic state of rest, that's when we're truly and ultimately switching off and able to recalibrate and reset the whole system. So by doing that, by working on the parasympathetic side, it is enabling us to switch the light on in our consciousness. So it is really flooding our light force, our nervous system, our spine, within our bodies. It's switching the light on within our consciousness, which will send signals to the brain, and we will start to clear the mind and see all of the crap that's sitting in our mind and in our body, which is ultimately making us sick. So the deepest way and the most permanent way to heal is to activate the self-healing mechanism, but also to clean the mind, because the root of all disease and imbalance ultimately is in the mind. So by cleaning the mind, we are able to really start that self-healing journey and process. So Harmonium will do that because it's switching the light on in our consciousness, and by switching the light on in our consciousness, we become more aware. And when we become more aware, we are able to make choices that are better going to serve us in our life and in our journey of moving from a state of surviving to thriving. So by switching the light on, we're able to see what's not working for us. And when we start to see what's not working for us, we can start to remove that from our lives. We can start to clean our lives. We can start to clean our bodies. We can start to clean our mental space and our emotional space, and we can work on unblocking those areas of our emotional body which are holding on to negative thought patterns, negative thought processes, negative situations which are ultimately not serving us and not allowing us to thrive at our best, highest level. So it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple, but it just makes complete sense. Everything in the universe is mathematical. Everything is vibrational. Everything is energy. So when we start to work on the science, when we start to work on the energy and the vibration of the body, we're ultimately able to raise our vibration. We're able to start cleaning out the mess within our house. Our bodies are our houses, they're our homes. It's what we live in every single day. So we really need to clean out those bodies, and to really allow them to function at that optimal level, we have to clear out all the crap, all the darkness, and really start to come from a space of conscious awareness. So by working on our thoughts, our actions, our words, our feelings, and our attitude, ultimately we can really start to raise our vibration and start to move from a space of surviving to a space of thriving. more later.